What's up, YouTube land? I haven't made a video in a long time. I just been really busy with work and life, and just all kinds of stuff. I've been wanting to make a video for a while. I just haven't had the time. I've got a lot of movies, a lot of CDs since then, albums, but I've just been super busy. But today I was gonna make a video of my 10 favorite zombie movies of all time, which they range from like the 60s to now. So I got all kinds of different, zombie movies from the 80s, 90s. There's one movie, honorable mention, that I'm going to show that I just saw the other day. It was a sequel to a movie I really liked from the early 2000s. So I just saw it the other day and it's in my list. I thought it was hilarious. So I listened to some Alice in Chains in the background. I got this box set the other day, Music Bank. I actually been looking for this for a while. I think it came out in 2000, and it's really, really cool. I'm listening to the first album. It's got a unreleased song, Get Born Again. It's got all these demos, unreleased songs on it. Let's see, some of the album artwork. It's like unused artwork from Facelift, and let's see, can't get it out. And Dirt, and let's see, the self-titled album. And it's got unreleased songs and demos of songs. It's really, really cool. I've been looking for this for a while, and I finally found it for a good price. So I just kind of listened to it in the background. I was going to make some more videos this soon and just kind of post them. Well, let's get started. Before I get to my top 10, I was going to show my honorable mentions. This is movies that I really like. They just didn't make it in my top 10. Like I said, this list always changes, and who knows, in a year it might be totally different. So the first movie is a movie by Zack Snyder. Of course, he did Batman vs Superman, 300, The Watchmen. He did Justice League, but I think his version was never released. I think the Josh Whedon version was released. I'd love to see his version, see the Snyder cuts, which they call it. But the first movie is Dawn of the Dead. Actually, a Scream Factory version. My kitty cat. I don't know if you can hear her. Here she comes. You want to get in the video. This is a really good remake I think I prefer the 1970s version, but I do really, really like this version. So kind of tell in the way. But I think James Gunn wrote this, that went on to do like Guardians of the Galaxy movies. And I actually have another one of his movies that he directed in my stack. So, but it was a really cool movie, really cool remake. I know some people don't really like it, but I liked it. I actually had the director's cut in the original version here, which is really, really cool. Next movie, it's produced by J.J. Abrams. I just saw this last year, and I really, really enjoyed it. I was kind of surprised. The kitty cat's gonna keep walking in the video. So, and that's called Overlord. Um, Really, really cool movies. It's set in World War II, kind of in Nazi Germany. These soldiers kind of parachute into this town. They're trying to blow up like this. I think it's a clock tower or radio tower, and they stumble onto Nazis kind of making zombies for like weapons. So really, really cool. It's got Kurt Russell's son in it. I mean, he looks just like Kurt Russell back in the day. It's almost like Kurt Russell like in the Thing and Escape from New York. It's pretty cool. It's like Snake Plissken's kind of back, and I heard he's gonna be in the Falcon and Winter Soldier show on Disney Plus playing U.S. Agent, which is really cool. That's really neat. My next movie, I just saw this last year. I remember always seeing this in the video store when I was a little kid, but I just now saw it, and I got it off of Amazon. And it's another Scream Factory movie. It's called Night of the Comet. Kind of a cheesy movie, kind of in the vein of Return of the Living Dead and Reanimator, kind of that kind of vibe, but a little bit more cheesier. Definitely 80s. This comet flies over LA and kind of causes everybody to be zombies. If they don't evaporate, then they're zombies. I only watched it once. I liked it, but I want to watch it again. Very cheesy, but I like 80s cheesy horror movies. Not really a lot of gore, but I really like the special effects. This next movie, I wish they would do this again. This is a joint effort with Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino. One did one movie, another one did one movie, and you go to the movie theater and see them both back to back. And they had like fake movie commercials. It was just a blast. And I'm talking about Grindhouse. And the movie I'm talking about that's got the zombies is Planet Terror. This town gets infested with zombies because of a military kind of gas. And it's got a lot of cameos. It's got Bruce Willis in it and Josh Brolin. And it's got characters from Quentin Tarantino's and like the sheriff from Kill Bill's in it. It's kind of funny. But, you know, it's just kind of good fun. It's not meant to be taken too seriously. It's got a lot of practical effects, a lot of gore. And you tell how, like, goofy it is. I mean, look, she's got a machine gun as a leg. I mean, it's not meant to take seriously. I loved it. I wish they would do something like that again. But the next video, this is actually have the first one in my list, but I got the second one last year, and I love what they did with the cover. Scream Factory did, and that's Return of the Living Dead 2. I think that cover's so cool. This one isn't as good as the first one. I think it's a little bit more directed towards kids. It's still rated R, but I still still like it a lot. The soundtrack is metal, and the soundtrack to the first one's kind of more punk rock, but I still like it. It's still like a guilty pleasure. The two characters, him and him, are back in it. Their characters kind of died in the first one. I think they're playing whole different characters. I've never seen that for a sequel, but it's kind of it's kind of fun. Anthrax is actually on the soundtrack, which I love. I love Anthrax, so it's cool. Like one of my guilty pleasures. This, like again, I saw this in the sequel maybe a year or two ago, and I loved it. I think I like the sequel a little bit better, but this one's dubbed in I think it's Swedish, I think. But really like a fun movie. Just fun like Evil Dead 2. Just kind of goofy, not meant to take very seriously. And I'm talking about Dead Snow. So I love this movie. I thought it was great. Like I said, I think the sequel's a lot more fun, but this one's kind of setting up the story. The sequel takes place right where this one leaves off, but very, very cool. Definitely an honorable mention. You know, next week this might be in my top 10, but very, very cool. I just saw this like last Friday, and I didn't get to see it in the movie theater. I wanted to, but I loved it. I think it's just as good as the first one. I'm not a big fan of Jesse Eisenberg, but I think his character is okay in this. I thought he was really bad, Lex Luthor. I think they could have cast somebody way better. But I'm talking about Zombieland Double Tap. I mean, it's just as goofy as the first one, but just as fun. They started out with like a Metallica song, just like the first one. They started this one out with Master of Puppets. I think the first one they did, Whom the Bell Tolls. Well, I'm all up for that because I'm a huge Metallica fan. So that sounds awesome. Well, let's get started into the top 10. Like I said, this is my opinion. It changes all the time. It might change in the next week, but my first number 10 is a James Gunn movie. I love this movie. It's kind of got like a sci-fi 50s 80s kind of horror vibe, and it's really good. It's called Sliver. I don't know if you've seen this. Scream Factory did this cover, another really cool cover by them. I thought this movie was great. It's kind of, you know, this meteor falls into this small town and it causes these slugs, and these slugs go into people's mouth and it causes zombies. Sounds gross. It's very gory, but it's just got a lot of humor to it. It's almost like a comedy horror movie. I love when they do that. I love James Gunn's sense of humor. Very, very cool, underrated movie. You don't really hear many people talk about it, but it's a great, great movie. My next movie, actually just talked about the sequel, but I think I like the first one just a little bit better as Zombieland. I think when I first saw this, I wasn't really expecting much. I thought it'd be like maybe just a stupid comedy, but I actually really love this movie. And then, of course, they had Metallica in the beginning, and I just love this writer and director's sense of humor. I think either the writer or the director went on to write Deadpool, maybe 1 and 2. I can't remember. But I think it's great. I love the sense of humor, and I love horror, so it's great. They filmed it just down the road from where I live, so very, very cool movie. I hope they make a third one. This next movie is part of I guess a saga. I don't know if it's a trilogy anymore. At the time when it came out, it was a trilogy. But this is by the great George A. Romero, and I got two versions. I was going to show you the DVD version first I got. I'm talking about Day of the Dead. It's really cool. I got like this pad inside, and it kind of Velcros, kind of neat. And kind of cool, this pad that came with it. It's kind of neat. Kind of, I guess it's supposed to be like the scientist's notes on the zombies. Really, really cool. This movie took a while to grow on me. I heard George A. Romero talking one time. He was saying that it was kind of meant to be the Gone with the Wind of zombie movies, but the studio cut his budget, which is, I wonder what it could have been, but this movie's kind of slow paced, but it's really grown on me over the years. Here's a Scream Factory version. I think that cover is just awesome. Really, really cool. Almost looks like a comic book. I love it. I think it's really neat. Like I said, like I think I like Dawn of the Dead the best out of all of them. And but this one's starting to grow on me. It's it kind of grows on you under continued views, but really really cool. Kind of a slow burner as they would say, but it's definitely growing on me every time I watch it. I try to watch it around Halloween or just whenever. I'm just kind of around the house doing something. I'll just put it on. But cool zombie flick. You can't beat George A. Romero anyway. This one's kind of a newer zombie flick. This is kind of a foreign movie. I don't know if it's from Thailand or somewhere like that, but I loved it. Me and my wife loved it. I bought it at a UCD store. My wife actually liked it. I heard they're making a sequel and they're making a remake. And I heard the remake might be directed by James Wan, so that'd be cool. And I'm talking about Train to Busan. Really, really crazy zombie movie. It's pretty much a zombie movie on a train, but really, really cool. Kind of reminds me of World War Z a little bit, but super, super cool movie. Really different. I just think foreign horror movies have America beat. This is the creativity and this is the scares. I mean, seems like America though is trying to remake all the foreign horror movies. But this is a sequel that I just saw. I just had the first one in my honorable mention, but I think the second one's a little bit more fun. And this one's in English, and this one's just a blast. It's like Evil Dead. It's like Evil Dead 2. Just a blast. This kind of not meant to be taken too seriously. I love watching this movie and just kind of having a couple beers and just having fun with it. I'm talking about Dead Snow 2, Red vs. Dead. I think this is great, great movie. I wish they would make a third one, but the story kind of ended with this one, I think. But this is a lot of fun. Not meant to be taken be real seriously. I wish they would make more horror movies like this, where it's just a blast. Whoever made this did such a good job. This might be higher on my list one day. I don't know. It's my kitty cat. I don't know if you hear. He's about to walk through the screen again. Let's see my next. Yep. Let's see my next. See my next on my list is got her tail. I got a mustache. She's getting bored. So my next on the list is Return of the Living Dead. This is just like 80s cheese all the way, but it's just I don't know why I never get tired of this movie. It's not a good movie, I would say, but I just love watching it. Very 80s. I remember renting it when I was a little kid. This and the second one. Look at that cover though. Scream Factory just did like an outstanding job of that cover. Really, really cool. I think this is like a painting. Somebody paints these. Isn't that really cool? But this kind of like a punk rock vibe because the main characters are kind of punkers. But really, really cool. I think it's written by Daniel Bannon that wrote Alien, or the first Alien movie. I think he passed away, I think. But very, very cool. My next on my list is Reanimator. I think my other movie dropped. No, it didn't. So talk about very 80s cheese. I remember this coming on HBO and stuff, and renting it, but very, very cool. Very in the vein of Return of the Living Dead. That's the 80s kind of corniness, but I love it. This movie's grown on me over the years. It's just so goofy. It's based off the H.P. Lovecraft story. I don't know which one. It might be called Reanimator, but this character, Herbert West, hey baby, Herbert West invents this serum that causes dead people being reanimated, and it just goes crazy from there. There's a lot of sequels. Beyond Reanimator, Bride the Reanimator, which I think Bride the Reanimator is really good too, but not as good as the first one. I actually got the Arrow version last year. This is really cool. He's got like a director's cut and all this cool successful features. Really, really cool. So, I'm probably gonna get people mad at me for my number third one, but there's some zombie movies I just like better. I do love this movie, and I just got this one last year, this version. I've had this movie for a while. It's the George A. Romero's classic, Night of the Living Dead. You can't get wrong with the classic. I think Criterion did a really, really cool version with this. It's got a poster inside and everything, and the Blu-ray looks like amazing. You can't just go wrong with this movie. It just holds up. This being from the 60s, it's still kind of creepy. It's got a creepy vibe to me. Very, very cool. Can't go wrong with the Night of the Living Dead. Sorry, it's my number 3. My number 2, this is almost my number 1. This is my number 2. I think it took me a while. I saw the remake first, and then I found this one, and after repeat views, I just love it. And I'm talking about J.J. Romero's Dawn of the Dead. Some reason the Blu-ray and everything went out of print. So, but I love this movie. I think it's just got just a kind of charm about it. Of course, these SWAT people get kind of stuck in the mall. It's a little bit different in the remake, but I still I don't know what it is. Just kind of got the '80s kind of or late '70s kind of gore. Tom Savini actually plays a biker in it, which I think is cool. I think he did the gore for this, and of course, the band Goblin did like the soundtrack. Well, they did a lot of. I think they did Suspiria and stuff like that. So it's a really cool box set. It came with like three. I'm sorry. One, two, one, two, three, four versions. I actually got in my CD case of the movie. You got the U.S. theatrical version, the extended version, the European version, and documentaries. I got a comic book with it, which is really cool. Kind of neat in it. So I love it. There's my kitty cat again. So, all right, baby. Anything new, she's got to like be like right in there. Like, what's that? Ooh, I haven't seen that before, but really cool. Look at the artwork. I think, I'm not sure who did the artwork for it, what comic company, but really cool. But I'm glad I got this. I think this is out of print. So I got it at like a used CD store where I live called Second and Charles, and I'm so glad I got it. Really cool. Different versions or I think the European version's got more gore and blood in it. But this is my number 2. I think my number 1 fell down over here. Hold on one second. This one right here, it took forever to find it, and I finally found it at like a UCD store called McKay's in Chattanooga, and I can't find it on Blu-ray. I heard they keep wanting to release it, and this is one of Peter Jackson's first. I think it's his 3rd movie or 2nd movie. I just love this movie. It's just got a vibe. It's really low budget, really gory, but I just love it. I'm talking about Dead Alive. I think this movie's great. The thing is, it's hilarious. It's like got that Evil Dead vibe, where it's just kind of, it's just not meant to be taken too seriously. And it's probably one of the goriest movies I've ever seen. It's just so ridiculous, but I love it. And I wish they would re-release it. I wish Scream Factory or Arrow would get the rights and re-release it. I would love that. And Dawn of the Dead. So, but this is just so cool. I think I watched this movie maybe 5 or 6 times a year. It's just a blast of a movie. I have a couple of beers and just watch it. It's just took me a while to see it, and at first I think it was on Netflix, and I tried watching it and it was so stupid I turned it off, and I just kept seeing it on people's lists, and I was like, well, let me give this movie another try, and I did, and I just loved it. And I couldn't find it anywhere, and I think they put it on Blu-ray in 2011, but it went out of print really fast. I think Lionsgate has the rights to it. And every time I watch my Evil Dead 2 version, they always show a trailer that's about to come out, and I just like makes me say, I wish I would have grabbed it, but oh well. But that's my top 10 zombie movies. I would have put Evil Dead 2 or in the Evil Dead, but I feel like those are more kind of demon zombies or demon thing. I feel like that's not really zombies. But that's one of my favorite horror movies, Evil Dead 2. I was gonna show you my shirt my wife got me. I don't know if you can see it. It's called Serial Killer. It's got Michael Myers eating cereal. Thought that was cool. But that's my list. I was gonna make some more videos. Hope you enjoy them. Just doing this for fun. This kind of a outlet of things I like. None of my friends really like metal or horror movies, so it's kind of my outlet. So it's kind of nice to kind of have an outlet. So cool. Have a good day. Cheers.